Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, September 23rd, 2019. Looking at fire potential impacts over the next few days, today we will see showers across parts of Idaho and Nevada, and also further to the southeast across the Arizona Strip and far southern Utah. Over the past 24 hours, there was a fair amount of precipitation across portions of Nevada and Idaho, mainly in the below a half an inch where these showers were, and there was also some lightning associated with these storms. There were a few new fire starts yesterday. Taking a look at observed precipitation over the 30-day period, which is the image on the right, you can see that about the northern two-thirds of the Great Basin has seen some pretty healthy precipitation. Quite a bit of rain has fallen, rain and snow have fallen over the past 30 days across the northern two-thirds of the Great Basin. Looking at the past 7 days, you can see that things have been a bit drier. We've still seen some precipitation fall across the northern part of the area, but things have been a bit drier across southwest Idaho. What really stands out is how dry conditions have been across the southern part of the Great Basin. It should be no surprise then that ERCs are the highest across the far southern part of the area. You can see ERCs in the 70 to 90th percentile across quite a few areas in the south. Continuing to look at ERCs, looking at GB16, you can see that GB16 is above normal values, but not quite in record territory. If we look further north at GB25, where things have been wetter, you can see that ERCs have fallen below those normal values. So really, kind of the last holdout in the Great Basin is those far southern areas where things have been quite dry. Satellite this morning shows high pressure over much of the Great Basin. There is a weather system moving into the area from the northwest. For today, you can see that dry air in place across much of the Great Basin. However, there is some moisture moving into the area associated with a low pressure system moving through the Great Basin. Today, we will see pretty light winds across the area. We will see some gusty winds across portions of Idaho associated with a cold front making its way through the area. However, relative humidities will generally be above 20% in those areas that we are expecting the stronger winds. As we move into Tuesday, that low pressure system makes its way to the southeast, bringing some cooler and more unsettled weather to the area. If we look at the winds and relative humidities, you can see some gusty winds expected across portions of the southern part of the Great Basin, again associated with the cold front moving through the area. But again, in general, we will be looking at those relative humidities beginning to increase across those areas behind the cold front. As we move into Wednesday, that weather system makes its way off to the northeast, and we will see cooler temperatures across the area on Wednesday. Winds again will be generally light across the majority of the area. We could see some elevated winds across portions of Utah. You can see those showing up there on that wind gust map. But again, relative humidities will generally be above 20% in the areas that we could see the gustier winds. Looking at precipitation accumulation over the next 3 days, you can see really central Nevada and much of Utah will see the focus of the precipitation. As we move into Tuesday, again, a pretty mild weather day expected on Tuesday. Beginning to look at those fuels across the southern part of the area moistening, finally turning green by Thursday. And we are looking at a low pressure system just to the south of the area on Thursday. As we move into Friday, again, looking at more moisture across the Great Basin, really almost the entire area expected to be in the green category by Friday. So you can look at the Thursday and Friday precipitation accumulation, and pretty significant numbers are expected in that 2-day period, looking at precipitation around 1 inch across the higher elevations and more widespread over 1/4 of an inch. So really looking at a pretty wet period on Thursday and Friday. And then finally on Saturday, what models are suggesting that yet another weather system will begin to make its way into the Great Basin for the weekend. And on Sunday, looking at that system also in place. In the Saturday and Sunday time period, again, just in that 2-day period, looking at a pretty significant amount of precipitation falling across the area, over 1 inch possible in the higher elevations, and over 1/2 of an inch possible in other areas. So really looking quite wet towards the end of the week. Finally, taking a look at the 7-day total precipitation numbers, you can see really a wet next 7 days is expected across the Great Basin. Almost the entire area will see some precipitation in the next week. Finally, looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for below normal temperatures for the entire region, as well as above normal precipitation. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thank you.